This story is actually an update. If you guys go back in my channel and look at the story of Cairo, Jordan, you guys will remember this story. It was really crazy, really convoluted as far as the information. So this is going to be an update, and it's not a conclusion because they're still looking for the biological mother, who is the person that you guys just saw on my screen. Right here, that's who they're currently still looking for. She is on the run, but they caught her accomplice. So this is going to be a little bit of an update, but let me give you guys a disclaimer about my content. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And I'm getting this story from lawandcrime.com. Why? Because they are the source for the best articles, and I thank them so much for all the work that they continue to do. I know it's a job, but I'm still thankful. But a 41-year-old woman from Louisiana has admitted to her role in the death of a 5-year-old boy from southern Indiana who was found abandoned in the woods inside of a suitcase. So some of you guys actually remember this story, and especially that Las Vegas suitcase. So this is a little bit of an update. The suitcase and the boy were found abandoned in the woods last year. Dawn Elaine Coleman on Friday formally pled guilty, which is this Cocker Spaniel looking individual. Let me see if I can back that up like a U-Haul truck. Her face looks like when you light an incense on fire. That's what her face looks like. Like just a real creepy looking individual, just real weird looking. And something I thought that was real interesting about this story too, about these people that claim to be healers and they be mixing all these ingredients and incense and stuff. I'm going to just tell y'all, I think that if those people have children, they should be investigated. Anybody who claims to be these healers and spiritual healing and they're charging you money, I think that they should be reported to the police and the CPS, and they need to be investigated if they have kids in their home. Okay, I've seen a couple of YouTubers out there who are these alleged healers, and they are just some of the most disgusting talking people. It seems like they are always unstable. It seems like they're always broke. It seems like they live in filthy, stinking conditions. I just think that those people just need to be checked out. I don't think that they're playing with a full deck of cards. I think they're a couple of tacos short of a combination plate. I think if they were a box of crayons, they'd be like a navy blue, because I don't think they're the brightest ones in the box. She formally pled guilty to one count of conspiracy to commit murder in the tragic death of young Cairo Jordan, court records reviewed by Law and Crime. According to a report from the Louisville, Kentucky ABC affiliate WHAS, Coleman reached a deal with the Washington County Prosecutor's Office in which she agreed to plead guilty to the conspiracy charge and testify against Cairo's biological mother. Right? That's her in court. That's the helper. Yeah, she's the cornball for sure. She agreed to testify against Cairo's 38-year-old mother by the name of, is it Dejuane? Dejuane, Dejuane, Dejane Ludi, Ludie Anderson, 38 years old. They're still looking for her at the moment, in any future criminal proceedings relating to Cairo's death. So that's her agreement. In exchange for her cooperation, prosecutors dropped additional charges of neglect of a dependent resulting in death, aiding or inducing murder, and obstruction of justice. So she pled out. As previously reported by Law and Crime, a mushroom hunter on April 26 of 2022 discovered Cairo's body in a very distinctive suitcase. So you'll see his interview here in a moment. He discovered the suitcase with the words, "To fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada." that had been discarded in a heavily wooded area off Holder Road in southeast Washington County. Police at the time said that they had discovered an approximately 5-year-old black male child dead. He exhibited no apparent signs of trauma, they said. No witnesses, family members, or acquaintances came forward in connection with the child's death, and he did not match any description of any child who had been reported missing. In attempting to identify the child, the department spared no expense and utilized every means available, including using crime scene evidence technologies that required outsourcing to federal agencies, and eventually narrowed it down to two suspects, which are Coleman and Anderson. On October 14th of 2022, in October of 2022, the Washington County Court issued 2 felony arrest warrants for Anderson and Coleman on charges of neglect of a dependent resulting in the death and obstruction of justice. Detectives traveled to California where they took Coleman into custody with the assistance of San Francisco Police Department, but were unable to locate Anderson. She has remained on the IAM or EM as investigators continue to search for the accused killer. In court documents obtained by WHAS, Coleman told investigators that she walked into a bedroom in a home she shared with Cairo and Anderson to find her mother sitting on top of her, who was lying face down on a mattress. She claimed that by the time she entered the room, it was already done, meaning that Cairo was dead. Coleman reportedly confirmed that she then assisted Anderson in stuffing Cairo's body into a hard-shell Las Vegas suitcase and driving with her to Indiana, where they dumped the luggage in the woods. Both women's fingerprints were found on the suitcase, and cell phone data placed them in the area where Cairo's body was found just days before the suitcase was discovered. Court documents further indicated in the days before Cairo was killed, his mother made a series of disconcerting posts on social media. She wrote, "I have survived the death attacks from my 5-year-old throughout the 5 years he's been alive," she tweeted on April the 12th. "I have been able to weaken his powers through our blood. I have his real name and he is 100 years old. Need assistance." 3 days later, she posted the following to Facebook. "This is a whole demon in a child body. Why do you think she need a cigarette? Losing energy, huh? 64 years old in a child body. Was full of gifts and magical rights, stronger than many of you because of your frequency is not high enough. Start asking spirit to reveal these things to you, hiding behind a body." I'm telling you guys, anybody who believes in that crap don't need to have kids. I don't give a flying F word what people believe in when it comes to spiritual stuff. I think they're flat out nuts, period. She also made references to needing an exorcism, a very powerful demonic force within my son, adding, "Just because the avatar is of what we call a child does not mean it is actually a child. Shouldn't be a parent, shouldn't have never had this kid." Who was even having sex with these people? These people are just, man, shouldn't be parents. "There are beings that are here that are not supposed to be here, that pick avatars to hide behind to play roles, to steal energy and ruin lives," she wrote. Authorities say that Anderson is about 5 foot 5 inches tall, 135 pounds, and has been spotted in California's Echo Park as well as Houston and Las Vegas. So if y'all are in Texas or Vegas, keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. Anybody with information is asked to contact police at 888-437-6432. Coleman is currently being held at the Washington County Jail and is scheduled to appear for her sentencing on November the 21st, which was actually earlier today, depending on when you're watching this video. Let me give you guys the fair usage. Let's talk about these news videos. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And if you guys are watching this video, do me a favor. You can help this update by clicking the thumbs up. It'll share this video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this. Even if you've heard this before, if you've been following this story, make sure you share this so other people can see it. Here we go.
Today, and she decided not to speak, but the judge didn't hold back before handing down her sentence.
Unfortunately, the walls of your jail cell for the next 25 years will be nothing compared to the walls of that suitcase. I hope the image is forever etched in your memory. You have wicked beliefs and wicked ways. It was thought that this child was possessed by the devil, but it's you, Don Coleman, that has the devil in your soul.
Judge Larry Medlock spoke after learning loved ones didn't show up in support of Cairo Jordan. As a part of Coleman's plea deal, Medlock says she will serve a 30-year sentence. The first 25 years will be spent at the Indiana Department of Corrections. The remaining 5 were suspended, but Coleman will be on probation. Attorneys say Coleman will also testify against Cairo's mother once she is found. After today's hearing, Sergeant Carrie Holes with Indiana State Police shared where they are in locating her.
It's a very active investigation. Any lead, anything that we can do to locate the mother in this case is what we're going to do. I'm confident that that will happen, that we will find her. Again, innocent until proven guilty. She needs her day in court. We want her to come here and answer for that, to give her side of the story. But until we find her, we're not going to stop looking.
And coming up at 4 p.m., you will hear community reaction to today's sentencing. But for now, live in Salem, Alexis Jones, WHAS 11 on your side.
We've been covering from the very beginning today. Dawn Coleman sentenced to decades in prison.
She is one of the 2 people charged in the death of 5-year-old Cairo Jordan, found dead in a suitcase in southern Indiana last year. Cairo's death shocked the small community of Washington County after a mushroom hunter found his body stuffed in a Las Vegas-style suitcase right in the middle of the woods. It was April of 2022. It took months for Cairo to be identified, even buried as the boy known but to God. Don Coleman was charged with aiding Cairo's mother, Dijon Anderson, in his murder. Alexis Jones and photojournalist Nelson Reyes were in the courtroom.
Don Coleman didn't show any emotion while inside of the courtroom Tuesday, and she decided not to speak. However, the judge didn't hold back before handing down her sentence.
Unfortunately, the walls of your jail cell for the next 25 years will be nothing compared to the walls of that suitcase. I hope the image is forever etched in your memory. It was thought that this child was possessed by the devil, but it's you, Don Coleman, that has the devil in your soul.
Judge Larry Medlock spoke passionately after learning loved ones didn't show up in support of Cairo Jordan. As a part of Coleman's plea deal, Medlock says she will serve a 30-year sentence. The first 25 years will be spent in the Indiana Department of Corrections. The remaining 5 were suspended, but Coleman will be on probation. Attorneys say Coleman will also testify against Cairo's mother once she's found. After today's hearing, Sergeant Carrie Holes with Indiana State Police shared where they are in locating Dijon Anderson.
It's a very active investigation. Any lead, anything that we can do to locate the mother in this case is what we're going to do. I'm confident that that will happen, that we will find her. Again, innocent until proven guilty. She needs her day in court. We want her to come here and answer for that, to give her side of the story. But until we find her, we're not going to stop looking.
If you see Anderson or know where she is, Holes says to contact your local police department. In Salem, Alexis Jones, WHAS 11 on your side.
Let me get my closing thoughts on this story. And yeah, I did think that was a little bit odd how they're saying that none of the family members showed up, like nobody. The biological father, I think, which that's him, like nobody showed up. But here's what's wild. That man that you guys see right there, that white guy, that's the guy that was the mushroom farmer that found that child's body in the first place. And you guys can see he showed up to that either that wake or that funeral. I think it meant more to him. He's probably coming from a grandfather, great-grandfather's perspective, a father's perspective, and just an overall person that just has a beating heart in their chest. And it seemed like he cared more. Why nobody else showed up is just beyond me. Somebody should have showed up. Anybody, everybody should have shown up. And that's part of the hypocrisy that I keep calling out in our society and our family. And the thing is, that's what my channel has stood for this entire time, is that I feel like this should matter to entire society. Like like if we're going to march for anything, like anytime the police do something bad, everybody that has nothing to do with this stuff shows up. Why don't children's lives matter to that extent? Our actions do not show that children's lives matter as much as they should. That's the thing that I've been calling out on my channel for a very long time. People come and stay on my channel and support, and then I lose support behind saying stuff like that. But I speak what's in my heart, and if you don't truly understand what my message is, that we advocate for children first, means we as the AFC, which is not a me thing, this is a we thing, we put the importance of children first. I don't say that as a cool hashtag or some type of catchy punchline. I mean what I say. And children should come first, before adults and before our feelings and before our priorities, our wants, our needs. Children have to come first. That's our sacrifice as parents, or we don't need to be parents. But again, I'm glad that Cairo was found. I'm glad that this story is coming out. And I hope that if y'all know what his mother is, somebody knows. She's probably living off some man that's probably desperate for a woman. And somebody knows. And I think whoever is harboring her and whoever is hiding her needs to be arrested too. And if she gets 50 years in prison, the person that's hiding her needs to get 25 years in prison. And I'm going to see that comes out, and that they need to understand that that's the type of prosecution that should happen. Thank you guys for listening. That's another update. It's been a year since we've updated the story, I believe. We'll be doing another update when we find the mother. And best believe, if I find the mother, if I see it, I'm telling. I'm calling the popo. I'm calling the police. Here go her peanut head self. She over here trying to hide. I'm telling it. Pick up the phone and tell on her. Let's go.